A child's struggles remain silent. Watch this video until the end as we expose the signs of a child grappling with the subtle complexities of being bullied by a narcissistic friend. Let's begin. Strange Behavior 1. Unexplainable Injuries. Have you ever noticed your kid coming home with cuts or bruises, not remembering how they got them? It's like a puzzle piece missing. Kids are active, sure, but when these injuries don't have a clear story, it might hint at some not-so-fun stuff happening during playtime. You know, the usual falls and scrapes are part of being a kid, but when they can't recall what happened, it could be a sign that their friendships are a bit more complicated. Imagine this. Your child spends time with a friend, playing games and having a blast. Suddenly, these small injuries pop up, and when you ask, the answers are vague, like, "I'm not sure, maybe during our game." If this becomes a regular thing, it's worth checking in on their friendships because, honestly, not remembering how a scrape happened might be more than just a little accident. It could be their way of saying something's not quite right. Strange Behavior 2. Lost or destroyed belongings. Think of a situation where a child spends time with a friend, sharing toys and games. Suddenly, valued items get torn, and some even decide to pull a disappearing act. When probed about it, the explanation tends to be a bit elusive, like, "I'm not sure where it went." If this unexplained phenomenon becomes a regular occurrence, it's worth investigating the dynamics of their friendships to ensure a safe and respectful environment. Ever notice how certain things around the house just mysteriously end up damaged or missing? It's like playing detective in your own home. While kids can sometimes be a bit untidy, it becomes a different story when a child's favorite stuff starts vanishing or getting ruined, possibly signaling challenges within their friendships. Strange Behavior 3. Frequent aches and pains. Ever had a child complain about headaches or stomach aches more often than usual? It's like their body is trying to tell you something. Sometimes, these aches and pains could be their way of expressing the emotional stress they might be facing in their friendships. For instance, a child spends time with a friend, but suddenly, they're not feeling well frequently. When asked, it's like, "My stomach hurts," or "I have a headache." If this becomes a common thing, it's worth paying attention to the emotional toll their friendships might be taking. Strange Behavior 4. Changes in eating habits. Ever noticed a child eating way too much or skipping meals altogether? It's like a sudden twist in their food habits. A change in eating patterns might be a sign that something's bothering them emotionally, especially if it happens out of the blue. Consider a child who might start skipping meals or eating a lot more than usual. When asked, it's like, "I'm not hungry," or "I just felt like eating." If this becomes a regular occurrence, it could be a cue to explore what's going on in their social circles. Strange Behavior 5. Hunger after school. Imagine a child mentioning a friend they spend a lot of time with. Despite the laughter, the child starts coming home really hungry, saying things like, "I didn't eat much at lunch." If this happens frequently, it might be a signal that their lunchtime experiences need a closer look. Has a child been coming home from school absolutely famished? It's like their lunchtime has become a bit of a struggle. Bullies often target this time, leaving their victims hungry and upset. A surprising fact, 90% of you haven't subscribed yet. If you find this video informative, why not consider subscribing to our channel and giving it a thumbs up? It only takes a second, but it greatly helps us. Thank you. Now, let's keep going, shall we? Strange Behavior 6. Difficulty sleeping or frequent nightmares. Have you ever noticed a child struggling to fall asleep or waking up frightened from nightmares more often? It's like their peaceful nights are turning into a bit of a battlefield. Difficulty sleeping or nightmares can often be signs of emotional turmoil, and it's essential to pay attention when these disturbances become a pattern. Consider a child spending time with a friend, but suddenly they're having trouble getting a good night's rest. When asked, they might mention having bad dreams or just not feeling comfortable at bedtime. If this becomes a regular occurrence, it's worth exploring the root cause of their nighttime struggles. Strange behavior 7. Declining grades and loss of interest in schoolwork. Consider a child who used to love school but now seems uninterested, with grades heading south. When asked, they might express disinterest in classes or say they find it hard to concentrate. If this academic decline persists, it's a clear signal that their emotional well-being needs attention. Ever witnessed a child who was once enthusiastic about school suddenly losing interest, resulting in declining grades? It's like an alarm bell ringing in the academic realm. Bullied children might find it challenging to focus on their studies, leading to a noticeable drop in performance. Strange behavior 8. Sudden loss of friends or avoidance of social situations. Ever observed a child going from having a group of friends to suddenly being on their own? It's like a social puzzle with missing pieces. Bullied children may experience a sudden loss of friends or actively avoid social situations to escape the stress of negative interactions. A child who used to be social but now seems isolated, either losing friends or avoiding gatherings. When asked, they might downplay the change or express a preference for spending time alone. If this social withdrawal persists, it's crucial to investigate the dynamics of their friendships. Strange behavior 9. Feelings of helplessness or decreased self-esteem. Ever noticed a child displaying signs of helplessness or a significant drop in self-esteem? It's like their emotional well-being is taking a hit. Bullied children often internalize the negativity, leading to feelings of inadequacy and a noticeable decline in their confidence. A child who used to be more confident but now seems unsure of themselves, expressing feelings of helplessness. When asked about achievements, they might downplay their abilities or avoid discussing them altogether. If this decrease in self-esteem persists, it's a clear indicator that their emotional health is at risk. Strange behavior 10. Self-destructive behaviors. Consider a child who, after facing prolonged bullying, starts exhibiting self-destructive behaviors. When asked about their actions, they might express a deep sense of despair or mention feeling overwhelmed. If any signs of self-harm or thoughts of suicide are present, immediate intervention and support are essential to ensure the child's safety and well-being. Ever witnessed a child engaging in self-destructive behaviors like running away, self-harming, or mentioning thoughts of suicide? It's like a cry for help that should never be ignored. Children experiencing severe bullying may resort to harmful actions as a way to cope with the overwhelming emotional pain. The call to action echoes louder than ever. Recognizing the signs is only the beginning. It's our shared responsibility to foster an environment where every child feels safe, heard, and valued. By addressing the complexities of bullying with empathy and proactive intervention, we contribute to shaping a world where childhood can thrive unburdened. Let this be a reminder that every child's well-being is a collective endeavor, and in our unity, we hold the power to transform silent struggles into resilient stories of triumph and growth.